Effect of antihypertensive drugs on an anesthetized animal. Today we will discuss about the effect of drug on the blood pressure of an anesthetized animal. Previous session was the effect of drug on heart, and today we will discuss the effect of antihypertensive drugs on an anesthetized animal. As we previously discussed various antihypertensive drugs and its effect on the management of the blood pressure, this is in the dry lab experiment. And in the dry lab experiment, the apparatus needed is Sherrington recording drum, where we need to trace the effect of drugs. The Sherrington recording drum consists of the chemograph paper, and on which the effect of blood pressure and the effect of the heart is recorded. Here we are using the animal cat, effect of drug on blood pressure of anesthetized cat. A cat is anesthetized by inhalation of diethyl ether, and anesthesia is maintained by IV chlorolodes. After induction of the anesthesia, the cat is placed on its back on a temperature controlled operating table. An incision is made and trachea is exposed. Endotracheal intubation is done to allow for artificial respiration. Then the common carotid artery is located, cannulated, and connected to blood pressure sensitive transducer, which is connected with physiograph. So to record the blood pressure, here we need blood pressure sensitive transducer apparatus, and which is connected to physiograph and which records the changes in the blood pressure. The venous cannula is inserted into an external jugular vein. This cannula is connected to an injection block. This cannula is connected to an injection block which allows injection of drug. So we will inject the drug by using venous cannula, which is connected to the jugular vein. The cat also receives heparin 0.1 ml. The concentration of heparin is 5000 units per ml. cat receives the heparin, which is anticoagulant, to maintain the blood viscosity. We need heparin. This is a parts of the apparatus you can see. We can also say power lab. This is a physiograph. This physiograph will record the changes in the blood pressure after addition of the drug through the cannula. This physiograph or power lab record the changes in the heart rate and the blood pressure here, the graph, after addition of the drug to the venous cannula through jugular vein. Now it is most important, before going to the actual experiment, you should know this concept to identify the unknown drug or to able to answer the questions of the experiment. If you know this concept, you are able to identify the unknown drug and its effects on the blood pressure and plus heart rate. Systolic blood pressure is equal to cardiac output and peripheral resistance. As we discussed in the previous sessions, if there is increase in the cardiac output and the peripheral resistance, increase in blood pressure, both. If the cardiac output is increased, we can say there is increase in the systolic blood pressure. And if there is peripheral resistance is increased, we can say there is increase in diastolic blood pressure. Beta adrenergic receptors, it consists of two subtypes, beta 1 and beta 2. As we know that beta 1 adrenoreceptor is located in the heart smooth muscle, and stimulation of this beta 1 receptor increase all cardiac properties, increase in the cardiac output and increase in systolic blood pressure. So if there is increase in the cardiac output, there is increase in systolic blood pressure. Beta 2 stimulation, it is also stimulation, but see what is the effect. If there is a stimulation of the beta 2 receptor, there is an the vasodilation of cerebral, coronary, splanchnic and skeletal muscle blood vessels, result in vasodilation, result in decrease peripheral resistance, and decrease in peripheral resistance, decrease in systolic and diastolic blood pressure. Now both are the agonist, beta 1 agonist and beta 2 agonist. Beta 1 stimulation causes the increase in the blood pressure, while beta 2 stimulation causes the decrease in blood pressure, due to vasodilation, due to decrease in the peripheral resistance. This is the main difference between beta 1 and beta 2. You have to remember this difference between beta 1 and beta 2 to answer the questions from the experiment. Alpha 1 stimulation. Alpha 1 adrenergic receptor stimulation, it causes vasoconstriction. And if there is a vasoconstriction of the smooth muscle, skeletal muscle, blood vessel, it causes increase in the peripheral resistance. And increase in the peripheral resistance, increase in preferably diastolic blood pressure. These are, we are talking, these are all are agonist. These are all are agonist, remember. So alpha 1 stimulation causes the vasoconstrictions, increase the peripheral resistance, and increases the diastolic blood pressure. Cholinergic receptor stimulation. Cholineceptor stimulation. Muscarinic stimulation. M2 muscarinic receptor available in the heart muscle, and stimulation, it is not inhibition. Stimulation of the muscarinic receptor results in decrease in the heart rate and decrease in cardiac output. And decrease in cardiac outputs leads to decrease in blood pressure. Decrease in blood pressure. M3 stimulation, muscarinic 3 receptor stimulation, vasodilations available in the blood vessels, decrease the peripheral resistance, and decrease the blood pressure. So both muscarinic receptor M2 and M3 is responsible for the decrease in blood pressure. We can say cholinergic drug responsible for the decrease in the blood pressure via M2 muscarinic receptor and M3 muscarinic receptor. But cholinergic receptor stimulation, if there is nicotinic cholinereceptor stimulation, it stimulates the sympathetic ganglia and adrenal medulla nicotinic receptor, which result in increase in the endogenous catecholamine and stimulation of alpha and beta receptor, which leads to increase in the cardiac output, peripheral resistance, and increase in the blood pressure. So from the cholinergic category, only nicotinic receptor is responsible for the increase in blood pressure. From the cholinergic category, nicotinic